centers which have a platform which brings in two things. One, a whole range of collaborative techniques which the facilitator or the teacher can use to interact with the kids together and learn. So along with these collaborative techniques, you have a bunch of educational content which are made to be fun and enjoyable, like the example of Khan Academy videos that I gave. And these two come together through the platform to provide a meaningful experience to the end kid. And we have, since the instructor now need not spend a lot of effort to become an expert in what they are teaching, they have all the time in the class to pay attention to the kids. They sit with the kids, interact with the kids, discuss with the kids. So the teacher-student bond, which is very essential, gets built up. And of course, the part of fun and flexibility. So the kids can form groups, go in the morning, someone says, no, I'm doing something else in the morning. Often with the street kids, they are child laborers. And even though we call it illegal, what do we do with those who are already engaged? So they may probably choose a different timing. So you give them more flexibility in the academic process. And I already mentioned this emphasis on collaboration and activities. And the last point is again something that I want to emphasize on. At the end of each class, these kids engaged in game-based activities, and the only way to win that level is if they have understood all the concepts covered in that class. And the way they graduate to the next class, not to the next grade, but the next class, is if they win the game. So if someone maybe sometimes did not win the game in the morning, then they'll be motivated to come back, play the game again with the group which is going to the learning center in the evening, and win that day's game so that they move on to the next class. It also comes with a lot of additional advantages which I'll talk about later. Now, if you look at it at a conceptual level, technology is absent, even though the learning platform that I was talking about is built using a computer-based platform. And that is because, all said and done, technology makes it more cost-effective and error-free when you are trying to scale from one teacher to another teacher, one facilitator to another facilitator. And that should be the underlying role of technology in education, and not necessarily to replace the teacher. So what are we building? Like I mentioned, it's a walk-in learning center. I'll come to the economics of it later on, which has a facilitator for every 20 students, a set of educational supplies, interactive large white screen, and the platform that I was talking to you about, which brings in the set of collaborative techniques and the educational content together. And the last part is the game-based assessment of what the kids have understood and learned in every class. And the kid gets a point through which he graduates to the next class. I again want to pause here and make a connection to, I think, the concept which Lena was talking about, project evaluation, and I think Michelle was also talking about assessing how much impact have you actually made. Now, one way of looking at it is, we have put in $100,000 and we have attempted to educate 500 street kids. And well, some of them worked, some of them did not work. Another way to look at it is, the kids score points only when they have understood a concept which is taught. So how much points they score not only helps them go ahead, but also helps you understand how much actual learning have you imparted to these kids. And in addition, it has a fringe benefit. Remember the thing about short-term benefits I was talking about? So we often talk a lot about how these points can be an alternative to the economic currency, at least in the lives of these kids, when they come to the learning center and exchange these points for food or toys or things like that. And lastly, I just wanted to show some numbers to talk about the economic scalability of it. The in-school cost, excluding everything else, is actually somewhere between $75 to $80 per kid per year. It may appear to be too low, but if you compare it with average amount spent in different parts of India, it ranges from $8 to $900. And when you add, put it together for 200 million kids I was talking about, it comes down to 3 times the national budget, but it is actually half of the money already being spent in private education in India. So is there a way by which we integrate private and public education so that the models can scale even more rapidly is one question that we are asking ourselves. We're also trying to brainstorm a new and exciting ways to train these facilitators in a way that can help us scale really rapidly. So these are some of the questions, open-ended questions that we ask ourselves, and I hope some of you might have interesting ideas to share with us which can help us. And yeah, that's about it. You can catch me later on, or you can just send me a note at hi@cambridge.edu. Thank you.